business meeting. Today is Tuesday, April 30th, 2019. I'm calling this meeting to order. Attending in person are Commissioners Duncan and Fillios. Joining us by phone is Commissioner Bill Brooks. And so I'm going to ask Kim Buffett to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so the first item on our agenda is the consent calendar.
All right, I move that we approve the consent calendar as listed on the April 30th, 2019 agenda.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios,
Aye. Motion carried. Second item, payables list for the week ending, is it April 26, 2019?
Yes, I move that we approve the payables list for the week of April 22nd to 26th, 2019 in the amount of $541,261.52. There are no jury panel payments this week.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios,
Aye. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Number 8 has been struck.
Okay, so we're pulling item number 8 from the agenda, so we'll move right along. First action item would be item number 1, which is the bid opening 2019-18, excuse me, purchase and removal, Brown and well, it's the former Brown and Just building, sponsored by Buildings and Grounds. Who will be commenting? Greg or Shawn?
That'll probably be me.
Go right ahead.
I don't think we received any bids. We had one individual that I thought was interested. He contacted me yesterday, and they just determined the house is it's too wide. They can't move it. So, I will get with legal and work up Plan B. I had one person contact me that does want to salvage a lot of what's inside of it. So it sounds like we have someone that might be willing to take it down and try to salvage a good portion of it. So we could maybe put that on a debrief for direction to go ahead and put it out, Plan B bid.
So would that be a virtual demolition?
Yes. At that point, if we're gonna start tearing it down, or tearing it into it anyway, we're gonna want someone who's gonna be responsible for all of it and not leave us the mess.
And not leave us the mess. Okay. So we can schedule that for debrief then?
Yes, please.
Okay, super, we'll do. Any questions for Shawn? Okay then, so we'll move on to item 2, which is a remodel of the jail visitor area by La Riviere Incorporated Buildings and Grounds. Who's handling this one?
I'll go ahead and take it. I think Tom can step in. I thought John Holochek was gonna be here today. So what this is when we were doing the original expansion of the jail and we were in the design, it was brought to our attention that the Public Defender's Office wanted the jail visiting booths to have walls and a door, more soundproofing. So we drew that into the design and incorporated that as part of the cost of the total project. John Adams passed away. There was some conversation back and forth between the jail and the Public Defender's Office, and then it was decided that we weren't gonna do it. And so at that time, one of about 5 change orders that were all grouped in one, there was a $5,200 credit issued from Sletton back to the county for that work. Now it appears that the ACLU has contacted us and said we have to finish the project, which we probably should have done to begin with, but that's neither here nor there. So there's, I believe, like a $5,200 credit sitting in the jail expansion account. There's plenty of money to finish it. And then Tom, what was the bid, 11?
760.
Right,
Yeah, so you're looking at about $6,500, give or take, out of the jail expansion money. So this is just to ask the board if they would desire us to move forward and get this remodel started sooner than later.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Bill, any questions?
No, it sounds like it's something we need to do.
Okay, motion?
I move that we approve the remodel for the jail visitor area using expansion funds in the amount of $11,760.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios,
Aye, motion carried. Item number 3, addendum agreement for Thyssen-Krupp for buildings and grounds.
Let's just redo our contract with them, keep the service contract with them.
Okay,
If we re-sign up, we're gonna get 3 months free. So just we have a good contract with them and they're a good company to work with.
okay, great. And who is this for, Greg?
Thyssen-Krupp.
No, but I mean facility, which facility?
It's for this facility, admin, courthouse, and
JJ, okay, juvenile justice, okay, great. Any questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the addendum agreement with Thyssen-Krupp for building and grounds elevator maintenance.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios,
Aye, motion carried. Item number 4, agreement and facility use request for the Idaho Star, that stands for Skills Training Advantage for Riders, motorcycle safety program, airport. Would that be Stephen?
Yes, Commissioners, Tim here for the record. This is a yearly contract that we typically do with the STAR program. It's a $100 per day per use agreement. We average about $3,000 to $4,000 from this agreement, just on the usage per day. And we've done it for the past decade, I believe, at the airport on Closed D, which is on the north side. We're working on finding them a new home long-term, because we are expanding in that area.
Okay.
So my husband is actually employed by the STAR program, so I think I need to recuse myself on this.
Oh, okay. Bill, any questions?
No, I have not.
Okay, if you're in agreement, why don't you go ahead and make the motion, just literally read it off item 4 on the agenda?
Okay, I would move that we approve the request of the Idaho Star Skills Training Advantage for the Riders Motorcycle Safety Program at the airport.
And I'll second.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Recuse.
Abstain.
Chairman Fillios,
Aye. Motion carried. Okay. Moving on to item 5, renewal of the MOU for the 700 megahertz Southwest Wireless Network for a series of jurisdictions. It looks like hospital districts as well, and a variety of other districts and taxing districts. Colin, will you be taking this one?
Yes. Yes, Commissioners. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Colin McRoy, Kootenai County Sheriff's Office 911 for the record. This is our standard 700 megahertz radio system MOU. This just allows different agencies access onto the system, agreeing to abide by the standard operating procedures and pay the radio subscriber fee if they are billed one. It is for a total of 13 different agencies, and you can see the long list of them there.
Okay. Any questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the renewal of the MOU regarding the 700 megahertz system.
Bill, second? Or I'll second it.
Sorry, I'm losing connection. I said I second the motion.
Okay.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios,
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 6, renewal for for temporary staffing services with Express Employment Professionals. HR, Sylvia, would you be, Kim?
It's Kim Buffin for the record.
This is the second of two one-year renewal options with Express Employment Professionals. They offer services for our temporary staffing needs when necessary, so no increase to the rates or the terms.
Okay. No questions, motion?
I move that we renew the temporary staffing services agreement with the Express Employment Professionals.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Fillios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 7, confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement, sponsored by our prosecutor and public defender, civil deputy prosecutor, HR. Sylvia.
Sylvia Proud, Human Resources Director. Back in August of 2017, when the Board of County Commissioners transitioned HR to the prosecuting attorney, the confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement was put into place with all of the entities named by Chris. And so since I'm new on board, we needed to sign a new one, so that's what's in place. Of course, the civil attorneys put the agreement together and it's been reviewed and ready for action.
Okay. And presumably the public defender's okay.
Yes, she signed and did sign it as well.
Wonderful. Okay, motion?
I move that we approve the confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement. You need to name all the agencies. With
I
public.
second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Fillios.
And I'll say aye and mention that this is actually item 7 on our agenda today. And yes, aye. Motion carried. Okay, item number 10, item number 9, administrative services contract with Regions Blue Shield of Idaho, Alliant Employee Benefits, HR.
All right, Sylvia
Sylvia?
Proud. The administrative services contract is the formal summary plan description for our self-insured benefit plan, which Regions provides the processing of claims for medical and prescriptions as well as our stop loss. They also do customer service and handle that for our employees and answering questions related to the plans. It's been reviewed by legal.
Okay.
And it's a one-year contract.
Wonderful. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the administrative services contract with Regions Blue Shield of Idaho and Alliant Employee Benefits.
I'll second.
I second the motion.
Okay.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Fillios.
Aye, motion carried. This gives latency a whole new definition, Bill. Never mind. Okay, okay, item number 10, contract for flexible spending account, known as FSA, administrative services with A.W. Wren and Associates, HR.
Yes, this is an agreement that went into effect of January of 2019 through December 31st of 2019. It's with A.W. Wren and Associates, and they're new working with us. There was some issues with the contracting and just making sure transition went well. That's why it's before you a little late. And Alliant has been partnering with us on getting this in place, so it's been reviewed by legal and ready for board action.
Any questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the contract for the FSA or Flexible Spending Account Administrative Services with A.W. Wren and Associates.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Fillios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 11, lease agreement number 4 with the Idaho Division of Veteran Services and our BOCC. I guess I'll comment on this one. Dave, did you have a chance to review this? Oh, Jamila did, okay. Essentially, I think what this is about is we were charging the Idaho Department of Veterans Affairs $500 a month to lease space from us out in Post Falls. They were considering relocating to another facility. which would have actually made our job in coordinating with them a little more difficult. So we took up the question of whether we could give them a zero rent lease, and I believe that has been reviewed and approved. So I think what we're asking for is to approve the lease amendment, which is a lease rate of essentially zero, with the Idaho Division of Veterans Affairs and the BOCC.
And I just wanna add that they were looking to move because of the amount of money, they couldn't afford it, it wasn't in their budget anymore to do that. And they were looking at increasing their staff too, so it's actually gonna be a win-win for the county, even though it looks like we're losing out.
Good point, good point.
And Scott Thorson has pointed out that being co-located was of great benefit to our veterans in the county.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay then, motion?
All right, I move that we approve lease amendment number 4 with the Idaho Division of Veterans Services and the Board of County Commissioners.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios,
Aye, motion carried. Item number 13, which is a proclamation, Motorcycle Awareness Month, which is this month, May 2019.
Tomorrow.
Oh, starting tomorrow. Sorry, I'm ahead.
All right, so bear with me while I read this proclamation for Motorcycle Awareness Month, May of 2019. Whereas motorcycle riding is a popular form of recreation and efficient transportation for many riders in Kootenai County, and whereas it is important that all vehicles be aware of one another and learn to share the road and practice courtesy, and whereas the safety hazards created by automobile operators who have not been educated to watch for motorcycles on the streets and highways of Kootenai County are of prime concern to motorcyclists, and whereas it is especially important that the citizens of Kootenai County be aware of motorcyclists on the street and highways and recognize the importance of motorcycle safety, and whereas a brotherhood against totalitarian enactments, ABATE, is an organization that's actively promoting safe operation, increased rider training, and increased motorist awareness of motorcycles. And whereas it is important to recognize the need for awareness on the part of all drivers, especially with regard to sharing the road with motorcycles, and in honor of motorcyclists, many contributions to the communities in which they live and ride. Now therefore, the Board of County Commissioners of Kootenai County, by virtue of the authority vested in us by the Constitution of the State of Idaho, do hereby proclaim May 2019 to be Motorcycle Awareness Month, and urge all who support motorcycle awareness to participate in any events planned in support of efforts both motorcycle riders and automobile drivers to keep all of our citizens safe, dated this 30th day of April 2019. And there are events happening this weekend right here on campus.
Okay. Questions, comments? Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve or accept the proclamation for Motorcycle Awareness Month, May of 2019.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios,
Aye, and the proclamation is approved. Item number 13, Advisory Board appointment, Mr. Foley to the Waterways Advisory Board. Leslie?
I think that's just gonna be me. So we have 2 openings on the Waterways Advisory Board and 1 applicant, and this is the one, Mr. Mike Foley, who has been recommended by members of the advisory board and kind of given the go-ahead from our Parks and Waterways Director. So I move that we approve this advisory board appointment of Mike Foley to Waterways Advisory Board.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios,
Aye. Motion carried. Mr. Foley is appointed to the Waterways Advisory Board. Item number 14, Resolution 2019-44, review of the emergency communications fee, Kootenai County Sheriff's Organization 911. Colin?
Commissioners, this resolution satisfies the requirement by Title 31 that the E911 fee be reviewed annually. This is the same resolution as the previous year, only change is the dates, and sets the fee as at $1, which is the maximum allowable amount. as has been set since 2001. So,
Okay, motion?
I move that we approve resolution number 2019-44, which is the review of the emergency communications fee.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 15, notice of cancellation for RFP number 270119, Rolling Stock Resource Management Office. Kim?
Yes, Kimberly Riley for the record. This is a formal notice that we have canceled RFP 270119 due to an unforeseen change of circumstances.
Okay. And is that,
That was for the rolling
for
stock.
the, when you say, well, so is that multiple vehicles?
Well, we issued an RFP for both paratransit and rolling stock. We recently became aware that ITD issued a notification where we can join in with the Washington Multi-State Cooperative Procurement. It's a much larger procurement, so the
Better
price
price.
of our buses will go down dramatically.
Okay, good, good. Questions, concerns? Motion?
I move that we approve the notice of cancellation of RFP 270119, which is rolling stock for resource management.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 16, Advisory Board Training Expenditure, BOCC.
That'd be me again. So Nancy Jones has brought to my attention that there is training that would be beneficial to advisory board members. And it's
Okay.
regarding open meeting law, public records laws, executive sessions, ethics laws, planning, zoning, cybersecurity. So it was requested that could we invite one member of each advisory board, which we have 10 advisory boards, to attend this training. It is $50 per person, but the BOCC happens to have a training budget that could accommodate that should people want to go.
Okay. I think it's a good idea. Bill? Okay. We might have lost transmission. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm losing my connection. What would the total cost of that be?
It would not exceed $500, and that is only if one person from each of the advisory boards chose to take advantage of it.
Okay, that was the crux of my question.
Right.
Sorry about the connection, for some reason today it's not working well,
All right.
but that's all I have.
Okay.
Okay, so do we have a motion then?
I move that we approve the offer for the advisory board training expenditure not to exceed $500.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Fillios.
Aye, and that motion is carried. Moving on to our final segment, public comment. I hear none. 2:23, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.